Welcome to our last episode of Red Zone. I'm Darrien Branch.
And I'm Will Cobbins. This week, we're discussing last week's playoff game with Coach Gene Robinson and breaking down some of the plays. Now, let's dive into the Red Zone.
So, Coach, that's not the way we want the season to end. Can you just give us some thoughts of the game?
Right. Obviously, a tough game. Tough to beat the opponent twice, but we didn't want to hear any of that. I showed her, what comes with it. We didn't get it done, and that's all on me, So, just being completely honest, we weren't the same team since we took a loss to DeSoto Central, right? We just never got back to being us, So there's some things this offseason that I am excited about. I am excited to get to work with young guys. We got some leaders like William Cobbins coming in, and we're ready to roll, So faith don't waver here, you know what I mean? We go get us, we fight us, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to pick up and put it down,
So, Coach, in your opinion, what was your best game of the season?
Best game of the season, obviously you kick off, I hate to say this, but the first game of the year, you know what I mean? You come out, you're explosive, you're playing good defense, you're playing good run defense. And I think we weren't explosive late in the playoffs. After the DeSoto Central game, we really weren't just explosive, and we didn't play good run defense, And although we had championship aspirations, you can't get that done if you don't play good run defense and if you're not explosive on offense. So these are all lessons, man, that we'll learn from. Obviously I hate it for our seniors. Those guys work so hard in the program, and it's going to make them better in their next stage of football when they do it. But I hate it for them. But now the real season begins as far as getting them in school. So that's what we transition to now.
So is there anything you think you guys lacked on in key games?
Yes, just, man, looking over and over and over and over again, man, and you start at that DeSoto Central game and you go back, it's just the mental toughness aspect of it. Being down and not wavering at all and knowing that, hey, we one play away, we're going to do this thing, we're going to do it. That's something we have to improve on. Like I said, man, just a sense of urgency. This spring ball is going to be the physicality of the game. We must take it to them and not let teams bring it to us, So whether it's tackling, whether it's block defeat, we have to get better on the defensive side of the ball in that, I sit here 4 straight weeks complaining about the same thing, in which that's tackling and block defeating, So, man, we'll be a much better version of ourselves when we get the time to come back. Let's miss it for a while and get back to work.
So do you have any new plans over the offseason to prepare for next year's?
Well, in this offseason, we'll evaluate everything. We'll evaluate everything, every system that we had, everything, we'll move forward. It's just so new right now, Will, that, we still processing it. But when time comes, we'll evaluate everything and see what we'll do to improve us. I definitely think, man, that we have to do more mentally challenging things, to become the best us. The talent's there. We got the talent, But the small details, how do we focus in on those small details, How do we become mentally tough, when nobody can break us, So those are things that we're looking into ourselves. And we'll find that and we'll get back in the groove, Like I said, a tough season, but it's also looking forward to the reward of getting back. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta love the work, you gotta love the process, and that's who I am, So I'm excited, man, to begin that off-season deal. Obviously it's hard to say excited, but I am excited, with the group of guys we have, I'm standing right here next to a 3.0, 4.0 student. He gets it done, Now it's time for him to be a leader. Let's go. Let's see what you do, right?
So now, let's speak into next year, losing some of your senior starters. How do you think you guys are going to go on and look for next year?
Well, I like I said, man, talent's there. We got the talent, man. We got guys who are ready to step into their leadership role, and the challenge is on them, So I think we got a good bunch returning. I thought our sophomores are really, really talented. I thought our juniors took a huge leap from last year to this year. Now how do they shoulder the different roles that they're finna have. You know what I mean? You go from guys who play no snaps to, I think Peyton Ballard off rip. You know what I mean? He's a guy who played limited snaps to now he's our Mike linebacker. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough job to have, the quarterback of the defense. William Collins, he only started one game last year. You know, hey, you thrown in the mix. Now you the guy. You know what I mean? That was a different role from him. Now, how do they take that next step? You know, Peyton, we not only need you to be the Mike, the leader of defense, but a leader of the team. You know, we need you to demand it. You know, Will, how do you take that? Where you leader of the O-line, now you got to be the leader of the team. You know, so it's the roles like that, man, that we must sit down and discuss and keep it moving forward. The greatest thing that I was sitting back, man, we was just talking. I said, man, I hadn't had any issues in school with football players. You know what I mean? And that's different to not have any kind of issues, man. So I would like to applaud them on, man, coming to school, taking care of their business, you know what I'm saying, doing what we're supposed to do, you know. But I'm just ready to challenge those next year leaders. Like, what kind of leader are you going to be? Who are you going to be for the team? You know what I mean?
Thank you, Coach, for spending your time on another episode of Red Zone.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed this show throughout the year, and I think you all are doing great things. We'll season up, but it's your time now. Let's go.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching the last episode of Red Zone with Coach Gene Robinson. If you like this show, in January we'll be starting a new show, In the Paint, with Coach Spears.
If you'd like to see more of our programming, head over to GHS-TV.org. And remember, you can follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll see you next season on the Red Zone.